The divisional races are heating up, and of course, Week 15 produced some devastating injuries. We're going to react to it all today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long.
Joe, happy Victory Monday to you and all who are celebrating here at the end of Week 15. We've got one more game tonight, Dolphins-Steelers. And a whole bunch of Levy Grail additions to make here this week on the program. We have some major injuries. We talked about Patrick Mahomes, Micah Parsons. We're going to get into the performance of Phillip Rivers in Seattle. And we're going to start with some of the heavyweight division races that are unfolding across the NFL, for better or for worse, in the case of some of these divisions, NFC South. Where do you want to start here today? Whole bunch of games, 14 to get into in total.
Well, if it's where I want to start, it's with the Patriots not taking advantage of their opportunity to punch their ticket for the AFC East title on Sunday against the Bills. They go up 21-0. They score touchdowns on 3 of their first 4 drives. The Bills punt on their first 3 drives. And then Josh Allen leads 5 consecutive touchdown drives, while the Bills defense tightens a screw on Drake May, who did nothing in the second half outside of throw a big block down the field on a Travion Henderson run, and the Bills stay alive. Now, they need help. They don't control their own destiny. They'll have to win out, and the Patriots will have to lose to either the Jets or the Dolphins, or the Patriots could lose 2 out of 3. And
it has to be a divisional loss if it's just one more, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the Bills stay alive, and obviously I think Josh Allen is saying that he has something to say about maybe the way that this MVP conversation shaping up with some of the heroics he's been able to put together here late in these games.
What I appreciate about how Buffalo played that game is they go down 21-0. They still finished the game with 38 rushes.
Yeah, they stayed with it. Yeah.
They stayed. Like, how many times do you see team that they blow up the whole game plan and we're going to come out and we're going to pass the ball at an 85% rate because we're down 3 scores, despite the fact that there's 40 minutes of game clock left in the game, right? That was the big takeaway to me.
It's a big lesson from Joe Brady, because I do think against Atlanta in their loss early in the year, and even in the first loss to New England, I thought that's kind of what got away from him a little bit, was chasing it, being down a couple scores, maybe even at halftime, and realizing that that balance is a huge part of what you are as an offense. And yes, I think getting into those third and manageables, leaning on James Cook was a big part for the opportunities that did exist for the Bills offense. But a great job by the defensive coaching staff. That looked like a game where they didn't have a prayer of stopping Drake May and company. And then all they did was stop him in the second half. I think Drake went 5 of 14, got sacked 3 times and threw a pick in the second half. Again, they got the big Travion Henderson run, but the Bills stay alive. And as I keep saying, not today, Drake May, not today.
The Drake May. The real future Hall of Famer on that Patriots offense may be Travion Henderson.
Hey, listen, did you see that stat? He's tied Chris Johnson for the only 2 running backs in league history with 2 games of 250-yard rushing touchdowns in the same season.
Yeah.
Hey, if you play against the Bills a couple times a year, you're going to have some of those chances. So stick around, Travion, in the AFC East.
Listen, should be much more prominent in the offensive rookie of the year conversation.
Slow start, but he's absolutely heating up in a big way.
He leads offensive rookies in yards from scrimmage, like not all-purpose yards from scrimmage.
Yeah.
Right? He's second behind Judkins by like 40 yards or something like that for like the rushing lead. He's second in touchdowns for rookies, and he's first in all-purpose yards. He's got at least 80 yards in the last 6 games the Patriots have played.
Heating up at the right time.
And they're gonna need him.
Yeah.
They're gonna need him.
No doubt.
Not the only divisional race unfolding. How about we go to the Carolina Panthers? Dropping the game to the Saints to drop back into a tie with Tampa Bay to set the stage for these 2 head-to-heads in 3 weeks. The South is going to be decided in the next 3 weeks because they play each other twice. And I think that's if you're Carolina and you lose in New Orleans and Tyler Shuck plays well again, you feel good if you're in New Orleans, right? It's a feel-good story. The way he's playing, you're not feeling bad about playing your way out of the potential quarterback market. If you're Carolina, the only thing you can do waking up this morning is say, we have a 3-game season. Nothing else matters.
100%. Yeah. And we loved Lathan Ransom coming out of Ohio State. We knew he was a really physical downhill player. Wasn't the time, bud. Wasn't the time to layeth the smacketh downeth, right?
Did you hear what he said?
No, what'd he say?
He said, I guess I just got to let him slide or run by me or I guess I got to let him run by me or go out of bounds next time or something.
No, dude, he freaking slid. I love the play call there too. Just go, just get those yards. And
that's the Drew Brees rule is what I saw it referred to on Twitter. Like if you're going to run a slant and then clock the ball, you need like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And they ran the equivalent of that because there was 12 seconds left to get quick gain yardage and then clock the ball.
New Orleans, look, you got to be thrilled. They've really competed hard all season long. They haven't had much in the way of talent. Year 1 of Kellen Moore. I know they're a 4-10 football team, but this is a really competitive team that's battling and truly embracing that spoiler role here with back-to-back wins over the Bucs and Panthers. Dude, they got Jets, Titans, Falcons as their last 3. They might win out. They might end the year in a 5-game win streak.
And if they do that and like Carolina flops, the Saints have a chance to finish second in this.
Oh
South.
my goodness. Wow.
So we'll see. Do you want to grab the Ravens kind of getting back in the win column? You want to tuck this one in this block here?
All-time bad vibes in Cincinnati. I'm nervous about Joe Burrow. This guy is like in the dumps, man. I hope his friends are checking in on him, dude. He's going through something, dude. It's tough to watch. He's a great player, but he came out and said literally no team in the league was going to win with me at quarterback today. And the comments he's made all week, it's been a tough scene for a guy that's unbelievably talented and obviously a huge win for the Ravens. But I'm kind of left thinking a lot about Cincinnati and just the vibes and direction. And nothing feels good.
Oh, and Jamar came out and said, I've never really had to uplift Joe, but I might start. Like, you never know what a guy's going through, right? So I think that is the story in Cincinnati is you knew we had the concerns about the roster and the way that they conduct their business, but for Joe to rehab, like cuts his own cast off and gets to work on his rehab early and his back, and this to be what it's felt like since he's come back is very concerning, I think is the right word.
And I listened to Joe Burrow speak in the lead up to the game against the Bills, where I thought he was fantastic against the Bills. But he's talking about, I love this game and I want to take advantage of every opportunity and I want to put on a show for the fans and all that. And then next thing you know, he's talking about if it's not fun and then this, it's like, boy, not great. But obviously the Ravens get in the win column and they continue to force the issue. And it's a big one tonight with the Steelers and Dolphins for that North race, which is obviously a Steelers-Ravens conversation.
Yeah, and they will play each other week 18. So as that division race unfolds, it's going to come down to what Baltimore's got New England and Green Bay before they play Pittsburgh.
Right.
And then the Steelers, make sure I get it right. They obviously play tonight with the Dolphins. They're favored by 3 points at home. But they then have at Detroit, at Cleveland, and then Baltimore.
Pittsburgh's favored?
Pittsburgh's favored by 3 points.
Oh, okay.
Joe just dropped his pen. He's going to head over to FanDuel.
I think there's a money line I think I want to go pick up right about now.
Yeah, we'll see. Very interesting game. We will obviously react to that tomorrow, in addition to some Levy Grails, which is the end of year debrief for teams eliminated from the postseason. The Colts aren't there yet, but we're going to talk about them and their performance against Seattle next, and then get into some of those teams that got knocked off here the rest of the way on Locked On NFL Scouting. Make sure you guys stick with us.
The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories, because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles. It's a great gift for a lot of different folks: grandparents, parents, newlyweds, anybody who loves photos. Get endless uploads of pictures and 30-second videos through the Aura app. You can add a personalized message right inside the frame, so the gift feels thoughtful from the moment it's opened. And for somebody like me who, boy, you don't want me wrapping gifts, the packaging comes gift ready, no price tag, and no wrapping needed, which is a huge win. Check it out. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code Locked On at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code Locked On. The deal is exclusive to listeners, and they sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Big Phil. Not the best stat sheet performance. But Joe, we let a potential game-winning drive in the final 2 minutes, back shoulder throw to Alec Pierce on 3rd and 7 that you could not have walked downfield and handed the ball to him any better. Seattle survives at home 18-16. Seattle kicks 6 field goals in the process.
6. That's what they did.
Including the last one with, like, after the kickoff return, Darnold gets 2 or 3 completions, but they had like 22 seconds and still pulled it off.
It's a weird amount of time, that whole situation at the end. Steichen really kind of goofed the time management at the end, in my opinion.
Tell everybody why. Maybe somebody didn't watch the game. Why did you feel he goofed the time management?
Well, I just, there was opportunities there to, I think, milk it a little bit more, and he didn't. And I mean, it's unfortunate the way things ultimately ended, but I thought there was more time to take off the clock. He left too much out there for Sam Darnold and company, and they were able to get the big completion to Rashid Shaheed to put them in business.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I don't think anybody really knew how to process the Phillip Rivers information. I thought he came in and gave him a chance. And I think that pretty impressive. He practiced 3 times, and he hadn't played in 5 years. I'm actually very impressed with Phillip Rivers. And one thing that's kind of bothered me in seeing the reaction to this even happening was the amount of people that were like, obviously this just signals a massive problem with quarterback development in the NFL. What's the point of having Brett Rippon and Riley Leonard if they can't step into these moments? Can we be honest? If any position in the NFL is down to the 4th option, it ain't going to be that good. It doesn't matter if it's a quarterback or it doesn't matter. Like you're not 4 deep of like really good options. Most teams aren't 2 or 3 deep. And so I don't know. That was kind of a talking point that I didn't really vibe with. I think the reality is it's hard to play high caliber quarterback in the NFL, and there's not that many guys that can do it at an elite level. And I thought Indy, like in hindsight, and even watching this through, I think they did make the right move by getting Phillip Rivers in there, because that was a game that I don't think many people gave him a chance, and he put him in position to win the game there at the end. So I think it's pretty impressive for Phil Rivers in what he's able to do.
And on that back shoulder throw to Alec Pierce, Seattle runs a blended coverage, right, where they're playing too high. They zone everything to the front side, and they just lock the back side. How many inexperienced quarterbacks are going to get into that situation and work the man coverage despite it being a too high and throw a back shoulder ball there? Right? Or are you going to try to work the front side and work a 2-man concept or a 3-man concept to the front side, but it's all zoned out, and then you're going to have to work back to the backside? That was what was impressive to me about Sam Darnold on the Shaheed completion, was he worked all the way through his progression and came back to the backside, despite the fact that you were in a low time situation and you had to work the field to get the chunk completion to set you up. So I think the experience element of it, like, that was where I think you found the value, and you just weren't quite sure how Phil was going to physically be able to execute. They obviously put the bumpers on the offense, and they played things pretty conservatively, but I think the experience was the value there in that environment. And to see a guy like that, like, I'll remember this performance for a long time, not for the stat sheet, not for, the fact that they lost or won the game, but really just how seamlessly he was able to come in. I think that really reinforces a lot of things that I thought that I remembered about who Phillip Rivers was as an NFL quarterback, to come in and do them and do them the way that he did. And I hate the fact that he had to throw the pick at the end, because he's trying to get a chunk to set up a chance to
he threw the ball.
I
mean, how many times do you see guys not even throw?
Right. They just eat the ball. Right. Yeah. Who? Nate Peterman.
Brother.
You remember that story? The Hail Mary, threw a couple picks in the first half. We don't throw the Hail Mary because we don't throw a pick. I watched 2 or 3 times this year try to go Hail Mary, try to be in position to throw Hail Marys at the end of the half or regulation. We don't even get the ball off.
You got to throw it, man. You got to throw it.
You got to throw the ball.
Big win for Seattle, obviously, with the Rams also winning against Detroit. Detroit's teams just throw the ball. Yeah, they are in trouble, and it feels like I thought Dan Campbell was really honest in his post game and said, like, that's what the top of the conference looks like. It's not us right now. We got work to do. Their teams are throwing on the ball all over Detroit right now, just down the field. Like, their coverage is not very secure, and they don't have any pass rush outside of Aiden Hutchinson. And so I think this is obviously a statement game for Detroit, or the Rams, with the multifaceted offense that they have, running it, throwing it. The emergence of Blake Corum, I think, has been great for their offense overall. And we'll see what's up with Devontae and his hamstring. But when they have their guys, man, on offense, this is a tough operation to deal with. And certainly, the Lions scored their points, but the Rams, I think, can win in a lot of different ways, including, inviting you to a shootout where they score 40.
Well, and what's scary is, maybe you get into a situation where you're down 2 touchdowns and you would feel the absence of Davante Adams. But I don't look at their game plans going into games. If you say, hey, we got to be without Davante Adams with a hamstring for the next month, okay, you got 3 regular season games left. You're playing for potentially the 1 seed and get a bye. And if you're the first round of the playoffs, you're probably going to have a home playoff game, depending on how, can't really say that, right? You got 3 teams with 10 and or 11.
I know. Right now, Seattle's the 5 seed, right? Like,
yeah. And San Francisco's 10-4, and they're the 6.
Right.
There is a realm of possibility where San Francisco comes out of this thing with the division.
Right. It's everything we thought the race could be.
I don't even think anybody thought San Francisco with $100 million in dead cap was going to be playing like this, right?
Shanahan's doing a great job.
But because they go so much with the 3 tight end stuff right now, I think they're really well equipped to build a bridge without Davante Adams for a small period of time. Now, I think that would really hurt them deep in the playoffs, but for now, I think they'd be fine.
49ers take care of business against Tennessee. Brock Purdy finding his groove. It absolutely feels like. And, check a big box. You expect them to win that game, but you don't want the letdown. Now they're 10-4 with the Colts, Bears, and Seahawks as their final 3. So,
you know what they say, Joe. Good teams win, great teams what?
Cover.
49ers favored by 12.5. 137-24.
They get it done.
How about the little love for Jeffrey Simmons catching a touchdown pass in that game?
All the love I can give him.
This is just outside of structure. I think it was like a 6-second play. He was working to space on the back end line for a touchdown. It's like, that's a season that it is for Tennessee, right?
Man,
like,
take your
find
wins
those moments, enjoy them as best as you possibly can. Do you want to quickly do Giants Commanders?
That or Arizona? We can acknowledge that Arizona got smoked.
Let's acknowledge that Arizona played a game
got smoked,
and acknowledge that the Texans won it.
I'm losing any belief in Jonathan Gannon. You know what I mean? Like, as we try to figure out this coaching landscape and which vacancies are going to show up. I mean, this is a team that it feels lifeless, and the defense is not doing its thing. Houston came out and had like the offensive performance they needed to kind of set them moving forward. And Arizona just didn't have much life, obviously. So a good win for Houston, but Arizona, Jonathan Gannon, I think we could be in the end days here.
A couple, obviously started 2-0, so they're 1-11 in their last 12 games. But the last 6 games, Joe, I want to read you some numbers. 44 points allowed to Seattle, 41 points allowed to San Francisco, 45 points allowed to the LA Rams, and 40 points yesterday allowed to the Houston Texans. 4 of the last 6 games.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
No. Okay, we got more to do and some absolutely gut-wrenching injuries across the league that we will discuss here next. Folks, be sure to stick with us. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, and every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. The receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover, and FanDuel lets you jump into that moment. They have live spreads and money lines that adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet on the next touchdown score, drive result totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, and every possibility. You want to watch Dolphins Steelers tonight? Get in on the live betting. I'm certainly get in on that Dolphins money line, but you see Devon Achane heating up against Pittsburgh. Go ahead and get in on some of those props because I got a feeling that Steelers defense might have some challenges tonight. So check it out. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you.
We have a wee-woo.
Oh.
Pour one out for Steve Wilkes. Was dismissed.
Oh. Okay.
As the defense coordinator of the New York Jets.
All right.
Off the heels of Jacksonville, before we get into these injuries, Jacksonville scored 48 yesterday, if my memory serves.
I think Trevor Lawrence just threw another touchdown pass, if I'm not mistaken. It's 5 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. Do what you want, young man. And look, Trevor Lawrence is heating up, man. It's undeniable over the last 3 weeks. It feels like Jacoby Myers, great trade for that team, man. They're running the ball. They're playing pretty good on defense. Trevor Lawrence elevating. I mean, you want to go on a run and feel like you're playing your best ball late in the season. Jacksonville's doing it.
Yeah, 5 rushes for 51 yards too, right? So he's got a pass rating in excess of 100 in each of the last 3 games. He did not achieve that once before the last 3 weeks this season. And it really feels like, I think it was Ben Solak who pointed this out, like their adjustment as far as where they tried to work their passing offense off of their running game after their bye week has been a big boost for them. So credit to Jacksonville and Liam Cohen, and they're doing good things. And they're trying to, speaking of divisional races, right? They're trying to hold off the Texans. Yeah. They're trying their best, but 10 wins for Jacksonville already. It's December 15th. You tipped the cap. You took care of business, won in a big way. I think Travis Etienne had a monster day too, if I remember.
And we had 3 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah. I went against him in fantasy. So
I'm
uniquely familiar with how proficient Etienne with his 12 carries for 32 yards, but 4 targets, 3 receptions, 73 yards, and 3 touchdowns was.
Boy, that's tough, man. That's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
That's right. I had Trey McBride, so I'm living
okay.
good.
You're good.
You know?
Jacksonville, they're in it for sure. 10-4. They finished at Denver next week. That's a big one, at the Colts, and then they host Tennessee. Looking at the Texans' remaining schedule, which I feel like is important to do. The Texans, Raiders this week, to the Chargers and then the Colts.
Phillip Rivers has a chance to spoil this division for somebody.
Yeah, and that's why we'll play them all and see what happens. But these races are good, man. They're really good across the league.
Mm-hmm.
What's not good is injuries, Kyle Crabbs. Let's start with the game of they're both of consequence. The Packers lose to Denver, and boy, it felt like they were going to have it, right? They thought they looked good, and then Micah Parsons, ACL. Christian Watson gets hurt, but it sounds like he's going to be okay. But then Zach Tom as well. I mean, it was a devastating day of injuries for them, and they take a loss in Denver where Bo Nix plays absolutely out of his mind. He heard me talk about how I didn't trust him against Green Bay's defense, and he said, bet I'm going to play my best game of my life and win a big game here. It's big for them, right? The Patriots lose. Now they're they're a full game up with the second tiebreaker. And so Denver's looking good to be in that number 1 seed. And you got to make everyone go to Mile High in in the postseason. You're creating a heck of a path here to go on a nice run in the AFC.
Yeah, and they'll get, the Christmas Day game is at Kansas City without Patrick Mahomes, who went down with an injury, is the other major injury, confirmed torn left ACL for him. So they go Jacksonville at home.
Big one, right?
Cold weather team coming to Denver. Then you're in Kansas City, and then you play the Chargers, potentially having already tied up the number 1 overall seed, depending on what happens the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, if they win the next 2, I think they're going to go into week 18 with the 1 seed clinched.
Yes.
So handle your stuff. That Jacksonville Denver's, as big of a game as you can have this week.
Yeah, it'll be a really fun game.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I think that'll be a really good contrasting game of styles and teams that are playing well and with a lot on the line. So I'm excited for that one. Dude, Mahomes getting his ACL friggin' sucks. I do not root for his success by any means, but what I've learned to love about the NFL as I've aged and I've covered it, and I'm a fan of so many things, as I love the competition. I love it. And I don't want guys I don't want anybody getting hurt, but Patrick Mahomes with an ACL this late in the season, that obviously jeopardizes the beginning of next year. No, that sucks. It absolutely sucks.
I think one thing that was very apparent watching the game, and I know that the Chiefs have a ton of offensive line injuries. The group around Pat needs to be better when he gets back. It needs to be a better unit. And that's, we're throwing interceptions to Kareem Hunt as the back out of the backfield in the red zone in the fourth quarter because we're running for our lives and we're high stepping over bodies at our feet. So we can't block. Travis Kelce's running all these long developing triple juke routes 5 yards downfield on 3rd and 12. It's Juju Smith-Schuster still such a prominent piece of the offense. It to me, it really underscored that the interception in the red zone, 3rd and 12, early in the fourth quarter. I'm looking at the guys that are on the field. It's like, all right, we got Worthy on the field. We got Rashee Rice out on the field. We got a skeleton crew at offensive line. Kareem Hunt's the running back. Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce running a triple juke route. And it's just like, what made Pat and Travis so special, right, was like the feel of space. We've heard players say, like, they don't even run routes half the time, right? Like, Travis just goes out there and finds and hunts space.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do that, that requires time to allow those kinds of things to develop. And Travis has been better this year than he was last year, but it's just the recipe, I think, needs to change as far as how they try to play around Pat.
It's been some interesting commentary about how they're going to beat split safeties, right? And their plan to beat split safeties was that we're just going to have the fastest receivers we can, and we're going to be able to stress you vertically. And that's
the Dolphins do this for 2 years, and they sat there and bitched about how they couldn't beat cover 2 for 2 years.
Yeah. And so they figured between Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce as underneath targets with speed that can push the roof, we're going to be fine. You got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball. That's what it comes down to. And I think the Bills, in contrast, for their plan to beat split safeties of running the football. Now, they might have become a little too yak dependent in their quest to beat too high safeties. The Kansas City Chiefs have got to get serious about running the football, or else it's going to be tough sledding for Pat Mahomes moving forward.
And it's so funny. Like, there were points this year where that conversation was still happening. It's like, oh, go get Tyreek Hill. It's like, that's more of the problem.
No, you're compounding the issue. You already have that player.
So you have to be stylistically willing to change how you play football, not who the pieces are to get back to playing the way that you did, because the other guys get paid too, right? And they've adjusted. And now you need to adjust.
Develop a dynamic run scheme.
And
I think that team misses Eric Bieniemy too. I'll be honest with you. In that role that he fills there, yeah, I think he matters. That team's always been at their best when he's been involved with the offense.
And for Kansas City, you talk about the run game, and Kareem Hunt's the leading rusher with 557 yards. Patrick Mahomes is second on the team with 442 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's like it's a career year for him rushing the ball. That's not what we want.
Right. And it felt like anytime you go through a lot of the big game situations that they were in this year, and it's like, all right, we need a We need to churn some clock. We need some tough yards. Were they getting it? And what's crazy about that is you've got Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith as guys that you're paying large sums of money to. Like, we know what Jawan Taylor is and is not.
I think Creed's the only offensive lineman that did what they were supposed to this year, man. A tough year for those guys up front.
Well, there's a conversation there about paying.
Yeah. A lot of conversations about all of it.
Trey Smith, $22 million or whatever it was. But
let's build a statue for Brett Veach.
I feel pretty confident it's not going to happen based off of how Chiefs fans feel right now. Well, is building a statue for Brett Veach.
There's been a lot of miscalculations, but
a couple games,
a lot of success. Yeah. How about the Bears? Caleb Williams, dazzling plays.
Taking care of business. Don't fall into the trap of falling behind early against Cleveland. And took care of business, right?
Some crazy throws in that game, dude. Some crazy throws.
The Commanders, despite their best efforts with a couple of late turnovers that brought the Giants back to the brink, pull out a win. They did not quit on Dan Quinn. We were concerned about that on Thursday when we talked about the game. Credit for them to doing so. Mike Kafka, please do not run Jackson Dart, although I think it was kind of like a busted play. He got checked for another concussion down there in the low red zone. They ended up trying to run and got a knee to the helmet.
Yeah.
The Eagles boat race the Raiders. Any hope that you had of Kenny Pickett being a reclamation quarterback? Maybe you just want to find another target.
This is 2 games now for the Raiders where they have less than 100 yards of offense? Is that really true?
Is that factual?
Yeah,
they're in Jets territory.
Yeah, they did it twice. Week 7, 95 yards and no points.
Oh my! And they lost both 31-0.
Yeah.
At least they got 7 first downs in this game. They only got 3 first downs against the Chiefs in Week 7.
The Raiders are the most directionless operation in the NFL.
Cowboys falling to the Vikings last night.
JJ McCarthy fascinates me so much, man. I don't know what to think of him. He's got a little something going with Jalen Naylor. I'll say that. I think he's got a
little something going with anybody not named Justin Jefferson. Is what it feels like.
They really didn't run the ball well. Dallas.
Oh my God, Mason looked comfortably better than Aaron Jones. It was like Aaron Jones. It felt like they were really keen on the run, and then Mason comes in, and it's like I'd kind of be expecting it to be the other way around. Like Jones is the best catcher. You expect they get caught off guard when he's out there, but.
It's a team that should think about finding a nice answer at running back this offseason if I'm Minnesota. But I think both teams are now eliminated from the playoffs, both of these teams. So
Dallas, I think, has like a 1. They would need Philly to lose out, and they would need Dallas to win out.
They're alive. Dallas
Don't leave your rail this week for the Dallas.
No. But there will be some other Levy Grails for sure.
Yes, and that is what the next 2 days. We'll do a few. Do we have 4?
Oh, yeah, we have Bengals, we have Chiefs, we have Vikings. Dun, dun, dun.
Is that it?
I think that's it, Kyle.
Unless if the Dolphins lose tonight, they would be a 4th.
All right, well, we'll see if we get a 4th.
That's going to do it for us here today on the show. Kyle Crabbs, Joe Marino. We appreciate you guys as always for checking out Locked on NFL Scouting. That's the Week 15 recap in the books. Come on back. See us again tomorrow. We hope you all enjoy the rest of your Victory Monday.